3 knockouts, 2 submissions, 16 decisions. Just how good is Merab Dvalishvili? When Georgian wrestling meets some of the best cardio in the world, you get Merab Dvalishvili. And where some fighters hunt the knockout or submission, Merab is a little bit different, okay? He looks to inflict what I like to call a cardio crisis. He's an explosive, spazzy ball of muscle that never lets technique win. He's been out-techniqued and out-skilled on multiple occasions, but still been able to pull out the win. So how does he do this? He does this with takedowns, pressure, and some sneaky underrated fight IQ to boost. Over the years, Merab has become him. He holds the UFC takedown world record of 117, actually fucking insane. Merab is very much an enigma in the MMA space. He moved silently on the come-up and flew completely under the radar, sleeping Raytheon Stotts with a spinning back fist and actually getting signed through Dana White looking for a fight. And he was very unassuming on his come-up, dropped the first 2 fights by decision and arguably got finished by Ricky Simone. So this extremely unassuming start to his career saw him overlooked by a lot of us, a lot of the fan base and fighters as well. You can tell that in some fights, Merab's opponent has completely slept on him because, well, just look at how he fights. But then something changes. They realize that they're not in the cage with another human. They are in there with the machine. Merab's cardio is probably top 10 on this planet. MMA is already an insanely hard sport to manage your cardio in, with devastating consequences if you do gas out. So Merab has an insane, unique advantage, X factor in this sport, and that is his stamina, his endurance, his ability to just keep on grinding, keep on pushing, and have more output than everyone. It doesn't matter if he's out-skilled or out-techniqued by even a larger fighter. Does not matter at all. Merab typically has great defense, stays safe, and just completely weaponizes his cardio base. And over time, I've really learned to appreciate his style and talents for what they truly are. He's a grinder, okay? He's not this flashy Petr Yan, for example, or like Sean O'Malley, these guys with really crispy striking. Merab is not that. He will never will be. It's persistent effort and will to win. It's a completely different type of fighting ability. And effort and will to win is all you really need in MMA. Merab has a fight style that isn't here to reinvent the MMA wheel, but the fact that he has such an incredible cardio base and seemingly unlimited stamina, infinite cardio glitch, just amplifies every little thing he does. It's not always what he's doing, but the level of pressure and pace he's operating at starts to crumble every single opponent he's up against. And I've spoken about this before in a separate video where I think it's going to genuinely just take a meathead to beat him, because all of these high IQ strikers who like to look all technical and flashy, that's not ever how you're going to beat him. You need to be a blockhead like Ricky Simone or an unk like Frankie Saenz even. And I know it's easier said than done, but I just wish his opponents would stop overthinking, stop biting on every single little feint and movement Merab does, trying to out-technique him and set up their crafty finish, because it looks like you can KO Merab. It just looks like he's a punch magnet, but he's not. He's actually got great defensive skills, but no, you need to meet fire with fire. You gotta go goofy versus goofy, slop versus slop. Because Merab transcends you stuffing his takedown attempt, because he will just go for about 12 per round. So how bantamweights haven't figured this out yet, that you can't just stuff the single shot. You can't just dead leg 100 times a fight. You're not going to win doing that. We need reversals here, gang. I don't know how I feel about his title reign. It's been fun. He's improving. It's just, I know it's only cardio and takedown output. Maybe it just hurts a little bit more because 135 is full of these fun strikers that I like that have been just completely shoved into a locker by Georgian genetics, but regardless. So it's time to go deep on Merab Dvalishvili before this upcoming title rematch against Petr Yan, his nemesis. December 6th, that's going to be a big juicy pay-per-view. My guy Peyton Talbot's on there. We have an awesome co-main event of Pantoja Van, but the headliner needs to be broken down in depth, even though it is a rematch. We'll talk about Yan later in the video, but let me just say, look, Petr Yan as a champion is just like movie shit, like slick trips and sweeps, this MMA Soviet-style boxing game, Russian Giga Chad, who doesn't give a fuck about anything, will legally knee Aljamain Sterling, doesn't give a fuck, pure badassery. But Merab shut him down and made it look easy. That was like watching a fighter just come in with the cheat code on how to defeat one of my favorite fighters. That was a hard watch, so I'm totally coping in this rematch and pulling for a Petr Yan win. But let's dive into this breakdown. Let's go through stats and pretend like Merab isn't on EPO and has incredible Georgian genetics, construction worker genetics. Let's get into this one. Merab Dvalishvili, a high-energy Georgian spastic who combines raw wrestling strength with extreme work ethic. Strike accuracy, 42%, abysmal. Merab's striking is just now improving after a decade in the sport. Probably his weakest attribute in my opinion, but like as we said with Pantoja, they have so many other abilities that are world-class, elite level, that boost their overall game. Like, they can get away being blindfolded on the feet. Like, their footwork, their wrestling, their pressure is so good, it doesn't even matter what kind of striking they bring into the game. Strikes landed per minute is 4.3. The output is great, though. This is the thing. Activity is very important in MMA. It'll take you all the way. You don't need super damaging striking necessarily if you can be a Merab and just wrestle the shit out of everybody. Strikes absorbed per minute is 2.5. Takedown average of 6.4. Pure demon shit. He has the world record of 117, but that's only landed. He's attempted, I think, roughly 300 by this point. Submission average is 0.2. What's jiu-jitsu? Takedown accuracy is 38%. Irrelevant, he finds a way to get them eventually anyway. Strike defense 56%, takedown defense 83%. Defensive stats are sound, only being badly rocked once in your whole career speaks volumes. Knockdown average of 0.05. We'll be nice to Merab and round up to 0.1 because he's a champion. Average fight time of 17 minutes, 8 seconds. Strengths: fearless, high fight IQ, heavy pressure. Merab wins not by technique or skill, but by weaponizing his aerobic system to amplify his skills. He truly is fearless in front of any opponent because he knows they will gas out before he will. I think this is high fight IQ and is really underrated in this aspect because it's the unseen, it's what we don't think about. And Merab doesn't need to be the best MMA fighter when he can just force errors out of his opponent non-stop with takedown attempts, make them just suffocate through the whole fight. So, weaknesses: low finish rate, low accuracy. Merab is not built to strike. The classic big overhand into a takedown attempt is his bread and butter. But he throws hard, he does have power, but someday he will get punished for his predictability. I'm serious. He gets all his striking done in the clinch or on the ground because out at range he hardly lands anything. I know he hurt Sandhagen and Umar, but check the stats, he's pretty much always just whiffing at air. Best performance: dismantling Petr Yan. Fights on, and Yan is cooked within the first 10 seconds, let me tell you why. Merab's low single comes fast, and Yan had no answer through the entire fight but to deadleg out of it near 100 times, which shockingly gassed him out. And Yan was onto something with the early low kicks as they squared Merab up and slowed down his pressure, but he stopped using them. Merab would feint his hands and then just low single on repeat, and Yan's defense is elite, but being so insistent on stuffing each one led to fatigue anyway, so you might as well just get taken down at that point because stuffing this many takedowns gasses you out anyway. I don't know, do more reversals like this because you need to actually punish Merab for his offense and not just try to evade or run or stuff the shots. I'm looking at you, O'Malley. Here's Yan attempting to Russian tap dance. Only joking, Merab here is completely molesting him and nullifying any type of offense from Petr Yan up against the cage, breaking him down in the clinch. And I hated seeing Yan like this because he was the high confidence, unbreakable controller, using his striking to dictate all engagements, but the rapid shooting of Merab really broke your man down. It was such a sad watch and a sad day to be a Yan fan. But absolutely, I'm going to cope and just say, it's just cardio. It's elite and I respect it and da-da-da, but I want to see a champion blow me away with their skill set like Yan does. Like when I say watch some Petr Yan, the crispy Thai boxing, unorthodox sweeps, like, why can't we have nice things? One of these bantamweights just needs to say, like, fuck my career, I'm taking EPO because, like, against Merab, I actually condone it fully because just look at what you're up against. Risk it all, go for the glory, inject EPO, you have to. Yan was the champion and got his timeline royally fucked by a grounded knee rule, and we just have to sit here and pretend it's just fine. Yan even did what you're supposed to do in this fight and escaped bottom by Granby rolling, but cardio makes it just not matter at all. It's very frustrating. I like grappling, but can we just have a sport where not every fucking champion has been wrestling since birth and bred to just haul people around? Go watch boxing, go watch Muay Thai if you don't like wrestling. I get those comments every week. I do watch them, motherfucker. Lucas Tracy got me into the sport of boxing, okay? I'm a diehard fan.
No one ever saw Muhammad Ali address Marty Lewis in public after 1966, but
seeing genetic freaks haul people around gets boring after a few years. Sue me, I'm sorry. And we deserve Petr Yan at the top of the sport. Don't care what anyone says. Joshua Ban as well. This is what we deserve for being devout fans of combat. No shade to Merab at all, just keeping it real. Everybody likes strikers, okay? You can't deny it. Everybody likes a good knockout. Everybody loves Petr Yan. You can watch that shit on repeat. And will I cope when it comes time for predictions? And will I pick Petr Yan? You bet your ass I am. Most fun, brutally reality checking, Sean O'Malley. Now look, this was the UFC's desperate attempt at getting O'Malley back to the belt. Was it completely delusional to think he could actually beat Merab in a rematch? No, it wasn't actually. This fight was close until it wasn't. I just think Sean's game plan was shit. Fight's on and Sean fires that infamous push kick that did hurt Merab to the body in their first fight, and did a great job of also moving laterally, but ask yourself this. When does circling your opponent and evasive footwork just become running away like a total soy boy afraid to wrestle? Because that's what this fight turned into. Sean has fear in his eyes, and I don't blame him because his entire game is just sharpshooting. So if Merab can get past that, it's literally a free win. Sean O'Malley just lacks a lot of that inner grappling work. It is what it is. Here he goes for a superstar flying knee, but just fumbles it completely because he's a pothead. Maybe if he didn't waste so much time gooning and podcasting, this knee actually would have landed and we would be in a completely different timeline, changed the MMA landscape forever. In all seriousness, Sean did a good job on the feet in this fight, shucking off Merab's early clinch-ups and his shots. And he landed good strikes, but this is the thing with Merab. He gets everyone like half scared to death to throw at him because they don't know what's a feint and what's real, and that takedown is coming at a moment's notice. And this was a bit of an industry plant performance. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Shug fans, but you guys have to admit, he's not ready to be champion. He's never had to fight down. Not saying his career is all layups, but it's been a bit privileged if we're being real. KO power can take you far in the sport, and Sean did catch some bodies on the come up, whereas Merab genuinely had to be the hardest worker in the room at 135 because with that fight style, you know he's not getting any favors from the company. Now it's different. Now he's champion. So Merab dominated Sean on top of this hilarious chicken sponsor on the cage. Brutal ground and pound as well. Look at that knee. Ow! Merab does have one special move though that I do like, and that is him picking up bantamweights like they are toddlers and body slamming them in front of Trump, Dana, Zuckerberg, all these emotionless robotic billionaires just completely emotionless. This was a never-before-seen Merab victory by finish. He's only got 5 of them, folks. So we gotta call it the most fun performance. It blew up his stock massively. It was a fun win. It was fun to see O'Malley get submitted in a north-south choke. And I couldn't be happier for Merab because he has been a grinder. He has taken the hard road. O'Malley needed a proper reality check here. And at the end of the day, Merab deserves a ton of respect from you and me for being an active, humble champion. Upcoming matchup, Petr Yan 2. Petr Yan enjoyers, rise up. Striking fans, rise up. Petr Yan needs to show up like his younger self in this fight because in the first encounter with the cardio goblin, Petr Yan was shook. Biting on a ton of feints, dead-legging out of 100 takedown attempts with no reversals. Maybe there were 1 or 2 in there, but it's not enough. We can't have that again, Petr Yan. I want Yan to really flow with his creativity in this one. Sweep out Merab, punish the lead leg, square Merab up, nasty body work, discourage takedowns with uppercuts, knees, slicing elbows, everything. Will we see that? I have no idea. Yan looked pretty basic against Marcus McGee. That was a close fight, but it was a clean win. Yan still got it. But this is a tough one for Merab. Don't get it twisted here. Every fight is different. Both will make their adjustments. Maybe Merab's activity finally catches up with them, and he doesn't show up on form. You just never know. I think this fight will be different. I think it can't go worse for Petr Yan than the first fight went. If it does, I'll end it all, but I don't think Merab can really, surprise him as much as he did the first time. I think Petr Yan will come in this time and actually have a ton of respect for his opponent. Maybe he did completely sleep on the game of Merab Dvalishvili that first time out, and he paid for it. He absolutely paid for it. Gassed out early, 0 striking success, other than some leg kicks on Merab. It's got to go different this time. It really needs to go different. Merab is all output, all stamina, all endurance, and Yan is technique, skill, vision, footwork, just total opposites. So you need to pay attention to this fight, get invested, get hyped for it, because I just don't think this rematch will be a big Cardio crisis for Yan like it was the first time. Bro slowed down in like 7 minutes just because he wasn't familiar with Merab's EPO blood just coursing through his body. But yeah, exciting title bout. We will break it down in full in a separate video where we leave no stone unturned. This one goes down December 6th, UFC 323, phenomenal pay-per-view card, the last card of the year, and the last card of the ESPN era. We are moving to Paramount, folks, so I can't wait. You already know we are Team Petr Yan, we are Team Josh Van. Peyton Talbot is going to completely bomb out Henry Cejudo. It's going to be a big one, guys. Get hyped for it. As always, thank you guys for watching. Drop your favorite Merab moment down below.